Hello, students. Today, I would like to take a chapter from our English textbook, Footprints Without Feet. But straight away, I'm not going to tell you which chapter I'm taking. We are just revising it. We have already done this chapter. I'm just revising this chapter for you all. What I want to tell you is sometimes looks are very, very deceptive. Many times, what appears to us or what we presume is totally different from the real fact. When we watch movies, be it Hollywood movie, Bollywood movie, we have a perception of the main character. We call him hero, the protagonist. The protagonist is very handsome, very fit and strong, very masculine, and very agile. But that need not be true in real life. All heroes are not handsome. All true heroes are not very pleasant to the eye, be it their physique, be it their agility. What is more important is their presence of mind. What is more important is how they tackle the situation they are in. I think you have got the point that which lesson I am going to teach. Yes, today I am going to revise the chapter, The Midnight Visitor. Chapter number 3 from Footprints Without Feet. In this chapter, Ozable, a secret agent, is expecting to get a very important report. Another secret agent, Max, threatens him with a pistol, demanding the report. Does Ozable outwit him? We'll come to know only after reading this chapter. Now, Ozable is a stout, plumpy, short fellow. And if he is a secret agent, and if his country has entrusted him with such an important document, there has to be something special about him. So let's read and find out. How is Ozable different from other secret agents? Who is Fowler? And what is his first authentic thrill of the day? Ozable did not fit any description of a secret agent Fowler had ever read. Now, Fowler, like you and me, he was expecting this secret agent to look very dashing, to look a hero-like personality. Most of us, we are aware of a Bollywood movie, a series of movies, in fact, the James Bond series. And we see the James Bond moving with a pistol in his hand and with most of the time driving expensive cars, visiting high profiled places, being surrounded with pretty feminine personalities, female genders. But Ozable did not meet any of these descriptions that Fowler was expecting. Following him down the musty corridor of the gloomy French hotel where Ozable had a room, Fowler felt let down. It was a small room on the sixth and top floor, a scarcely a setting for a romantic adventure. So Fowler, who wants to interview uh, this secret agent, Fowler, he was expecting something else, and not only does the personality of Ausable, uh, what we say, disappoint him, he is disappointed even by the setting. He is disappointed even by the hotel room in which Ausable is staying. It's a very simple room, that too on the sixth floor, with no proper setting for a romantic adventure. Ausable, for one thing, fat, very fat. Ausable was, for one thing, fat. He was very fat. And then there was his accent. Though he spoke French and German passably, he had never altogether lost the American accent. He had brought it to Paris from Boston 20 years ago. You are disappointed, Ausable said wheezily over his shoulder. You were told that I was a secret agent, a spy dealing in espionage and danger. You wish to meet me because you are a writer, young and romantic. You envisioned mysterious figures in the night, the crack of pistols, drugs in the wine. Instead, you have spent a day, you have spent a dull evening in a French music hall with a sloppy fat man who, instead of having messages slipped into his hand by dark eyed beauties, gets only a prosaic telephonic call making an appointment in his room. So, here again we see the intelligence of Ausable. He immediately understands that Fowler is a bit disappointed. He knows what Fowler was expecting. He is familiar with what people have images about a secret agent, about a spy. And he knew that Fowler too would have similar expectations. So he plainly puts forward before Fowler that he was expecting something else and he has got something else in return. You have been bored, the fat man chuckled to himself as he unlocked the door of his room and stood aside to let his frustrated guest enter. You are disillusioned, Ausable told him. But take cheer, my young friend. Presently, you will see a paper, a quite important paper, for which several men and women have risked their lives. Come to me. Some day soon, that paper may well affect the course of history. In that thought is drama. Is there not? So, Ausable, he says that you are disillusioned. Disillusioned means a bit disappointed from realizing that what belief he had was a mistake. We at times believe very firmly in certain things, but then that proves to be wrong. Such such wrong beliefs are called as disillusionment. Okay. So he says, presently, as per your expectations, very soon you will be seeing a special and very important document reaching me. He says that for this paper, many have risked their lives. Many men and women have risked their lives. And in that, there is drama. As he spoke, Ozable closed the door behind him. Then he switched on the light, and as the light came on, Fowler had his first authentic thrill of the day. For halfway across the room, a small automatic pistol in his hand, stood a man. Ozable blinked a few times. "Max!" he wheezed. "You gave me quite a start. I thought you were in Berlin. What are you doing here in my room?" So, somebody was already waiting for Ozable in his room. Somebody had entered Ozable's room, somebody by the name of Max, another secret agent. Perhaps this secret agent Max, he knew that the important document, the important paper for which Ozable is waiting, of which Ozable had just spoken to Fowler, is about to reach here. And he, with a duplicate key, is already in the room waiting for Ozable. And as Ozable switches on the light, and as Ozable switches on the light, lo and behold, Max is pointing an automatic gun to Ozable. So Fowler has his first adventure. Max was slender, a little less than tall, with features that suggested slightly the crafty, pointed countenance of a fox. There was about him, aside from the gun, nothing especially menacing. So again, another secret agent, another spy, but the only thing in his countenance, in his appearance, is he looked a little bit crafty. He is slim, he is not very tall, he can be called tall, but there's nothing very frightful about him apart from the gun that he's holding in his hand. So again, so we come to know that secret agents, heroes don't always look handsome, and villains don't always look frightful. "The report," he murmured. "The report that is being brought to you tonight, concerning some new missiles. I thought I would take it from you. It will be safer in my hands than in yours." Ozable moved to an armchair and sat down heavily. "I am going to raise the devil with the management this time, and you can be on it," he said grimly. "This is the second time in a month that somebody has got into my room through that nuisance of a balcony." Fowler's eyes went to the single window of the room. It was an ordinary window against which now the night was pressing blackly. So, what do we observe here? Ozable is not petrified. Ozable is not nervous. Ozable is not frightened. Ozable is calm and composed. And look at the way he tries to distract the attention of Max. He says that he's going to pull up the management. Pull up the management for what? For giving him a room with a balcony that is of no use. A balcony which is just outside the window. What is the use of this balcony? It's only allowing people to enter into his room. And he says this is the second time that somebody has entered through that balcony. "Balcony?" Max said, with a rising inflection. "No, a pass key. I did not know about the balcony. It might have saved me some trouble had I known." "It's not my balcony," Ozable said, with extreme irritation. "It belongs to the next apartment." He glanced explanatorily at Fowler. "You see," he said, "this room used to be a part of a large unit, and the next room through that door there used to be the living room. It had the balcony which extends under my window now. You can get onto it from the empty room two doors down, and somebody did last month. The management promised to block it off, but they haven't. So now Ozable is explaining about the balcony when Max says that he was not aware that this apartment had a balcony. And had he known that we could enter through the balcony, he would not have taken the pains of perhaps getting a pass key, a false key, a duplicate key. Imagine the trouble he must have gone, how much time he must have wasted to make a duplicate key. So had he known that there was a balcony, that would have been easy for him. So Ozable is explaining. Who is he explaining to? Who is he telling this? He is telling this to Fowler. Fowler, who is the writer, that this used to be a extended, a big apartment, and it had another door which went into another room, and through that other room there's a balcony there, and anybody can come up through the balcony into this room. Max glanced at Fowler, who was standing stiffly not far from Ozable, and waved the gun with a commanding gesture. "Please sit down," he said. "We have a wait of half an hour, I think." 31 minutes, Ozable said moodily. The appointment was for 12:30. "I wish I knew how you learned about the report, Max." The little spy smiled evilly. "And we wish we knew how you people got the report. But no harm has been done. I will get it back tonight. What is that? Who is at the door?" Fowler jumped at the sudden knocking. Suddenly there was a knock at the door, and Ozable has got this man to speak, has got Max to talk and get him a little off guard. And all of a sudden there's a knock at the door, and Max is a bit startled. Fowler jumped at the sudden knocking at the door. Ozable just smiled. "That will be the police," he said. "I thought that such an important paper as the one we are waiting for should have a little extra protection. I told them to check on me to make sure everything was all right." Max bit his lip nervously. The knocking was repeated. "What will you do now, Max?" Ozable asked. "If I do not answer the door, they will enter anyway. The door is unlocked, and they will not hesitate to shoot." Max's face was black with anger as he backed swiftly towards the window. He swung a leg over the sill. "Send them away," he warned. "I will wait on the balcony. Send them away, or I'll shoot and take my chances." The knocking at the door became louder, and a voice was raised. "Mr. Ozable! Mr. Ozable!" Keeping his body twisted so that his gun still covered the fat man and his guest, the man at the window grasped the frame with his free hand to support himself. Then he swung his other leg up and over the window sill. The doorknob turned. Swiftly, Max pushed with his left hand to free himself from the sill and dropped to the balcony. And then, as he dropped, he screamed once, shrilly. The door opened, and a waiter stood there with a tray, a bottle, and 2 glasses. "Here's the drink you ordered for when you returned," he said, and set the tray on the table. Deftly uncorked the bottle and left the room. White-faced, Fowler stared at him. "But," he stammered, "the police?" "There were no police," Ozable suggested. "Only Henry, whom I was expecting." "But won't that man come out on the balcony?" Fowler began. "No," said Ozable. "He won't return. You see, my young friend, there is no balcony." So, what a surprising ending. See how the presence of mind got Oswald out of this difficult situation. How prompt, how quick. Imagine on the sixth floor, he says that there's a balcony just outside the window and anybody can enter into it. How quickly he made up a situation and how keenly he spoke with Fowler, not with Max. As he was speaking to Fowler, and Max was made to believe that there was a balcony. He made poor Max to jump out of the window from the sixth floor. Anyway, Max too was to blame, and these are secret agents. They have to take risks. Their own lives are at risk. If they don't counter attack, they would be attacked. So the story has a very surprising ending, a twist in the tail, but a fantastic read. I'm sure it's quite simple and y'all can understand it too. So here's hoping that you read this chapter again, try to understand it, and in case there's something that you have not understood, kindly put a message on the chat box for me.